Hi there, welcome back to Riddle. It's time for some poll settings. We'll look at a few different things that are specific for polls and specific for this use case as well. This is our finished riddle, and let's go back into the one we've been creating and click on the settings cog wheel on the left-hand side to go into all your settings. By default, the general settings are already open, but just to show you, these are all the different sections for the settings. So let's go through and pick a few to look at together. So under general, clicking on that, we could activate page numbers. I'm going to enable that. And here now at the top, you can see that I have, both a bar, progress bar, and also the number of pages at the top. You could just leave the progress bar and switch off the numbers, or the other way around. I like having the progress bar, so I'm going to enable that and disable the page numbers. What I could also do is only show them on the question block. So here, for example, that's the front cover. I've now enabled that, and that means that I'll only be able to see this progress bar on the questions themselves. So that's how I'd like it. One more thing with pagination is the back button. By enabling that, it means I can go back and see what was on the block before. Okay, what we have after pagination are auto advance and the choose button. So we'll look at those at the same time. Auto advance means that if I click on, so it's on by default, if I click start and then rearrange my answers for this order it question, for example, and click on choose, it will then directly go on to the next question without me having to click next. If I disable that, there will be a next button. So for example, if I click choose here, now I have to click next to go to the next question. Okay, that's auto advance. The choose button is what you just saw. So for example, if I click here, then I click on choose before going to the next question. Now the choose button, so even if I disable that, the choose button will still appear in a question where I have to click more than once. Otherwise, it would, as soon as you click, it would go on. So the choose button will disappear for questions where you can only choose one thing, like the reaction poll or a single select question. So it's disabled, you can see, and if I click on choose here and go on to the next question, here I can only choose one option. So if I click on good, it will go directly to this next button here. And one step further, if I had auto advance enabled, let's refresh the page and just so you can see what it would look like on that same question. Let's go through this. Here, if I clicked on good, it now doesn't only take away the choose button, it also takes away the next button, and I'm just taken on to the next block. Okay, so that's auto advance and the choose button. Okay, then got language, for example, and one other thing I wanted to show you is the custom button text. So enable that, and then here you can write your own text in for these default buttons. So if I could type next question here, for example, and that will now replace choose every time that it would say choose. Or I could type in let's go instead of the start button at the beginning. So that's, again, up to you to play around with that. They're all the general settings we want to look at for now. Under branding, you can set up your company's logo, a footer, a slogan. That's up to you, again, if you want to add that in. In this case, maybe you want to, if it's a whole company-wide campaign for these employee surveys, perhaps you do want to upload that in there and make sure that you've got a really nice professional uniformity to a survey like this. Perhaps it's just a survey you're using with a small team and it's not so important for the brand to be appearing in it, and then you don't need to add that in. That's up to you. Okay, so that's branding. Okay, monetization in this case wouldn't be necessarily something you would need, but if you were using sponsors or if you were advertising certain products or services, then this would be where you would come. Okay, timer. In my case here, I don't really want to add a timer because I don't want to pressurize the participants, but you could if you wanted to. Let's say you don't want them to spend too long on it, and then we set the time limit to, I don't know, 4 minutes, no, not 4 minutes, 2 minutes, for example. Then you can do that up there, and that will always be in seconds. I could change what that looks like and turn it into a circle, top right, for example. I prefer the bar, so I'll leave that there. Okay. And this is enabled by default, but in between the blocks, while it's loading, that will auto pause. So that will never take away from their time. Okay, happy with the timer. Then block results. This is important here because by default, the audience results that all your participants, showing what your participants voted for, chose, will appear here. So for example, you can see here, if I then select, I can see the number of votes. Here I can see what percentage of people voted for what, and also that as a whole number. But I don't want the employees to be influenced or to see what other people voted for. It should be a private matter. Therefore, I'm going to disable display audience totals after each answer. And now everything is gone. So if I click on something, there will be no percentages there. It will just go on to the next question. It also makes the riddle go through faster because that step of the statistics being shown isn't there. Then our final thing is under security. By default, the play again button is disabled because in this case it's a poll and normally you would only want people to vote once, and therefore it's deactivated. But if you want to give the employee in this case a chance to change their mind or to do it again, then you could activate or enable this play again button, and I'll just show you in the preview what that would look like. Go to the end, and then you can see they can play again and start the whole thing again. So that's under security. Oh, and perhaps importantly too, if you really don't want them to not only play again, but you don't want them to be able to take part again using the same browser or the same IP address, you can limit that by enabling one play per browser, or enabling an IP limit and putting in a maximum number of tries per minute, per hour, or per day there. Okay, so if you really want to make sure that they do only take part once, that's up to you. Okay, we've got our poll from start to end, plus design, plus settings, and I'll see you in the next clip to release this poll out into the world. And if you have any questions, then feel free to write to us at academy@riddle.com or in our support chat on our website. Thank you very much.